Another rule you must follow: leave early and start driving back before the sunset to be safe. Even worse, if you get yourself into trouble, most likely there ain't any cellular receptions for you to call and ask for help, or hospital in the middle of nowhere. With that being said, drive safely. As you can see, the winter driving here in Yukon is a bit unforgiving. That's why, number one, you have to be confident and you have to drive smart, and safe means go slow. Once again, there's no point going somewhere, getting injured, and ruin your holiday. Better be slow, be late, and be back safe. That way, you can enjoy not just this trip, many trips to come after watching my travel show, DIY Destinations. Did I mention to ask you to make sure to enjoy the spectacular scenery along the way? It's free, at least during the hour-and-a-half long drive. If you need to relieve yourself, there's a couple of these places along the way. Free as well, part of the package. Another uniquely to Yukon is a cracked windshield are found on almost every vehicle. They don't use road salt here, rather actual stone that actually caused a chip to the glass. So no need to panic. With that being said, welcome to Haines Junction within the Kluane National Park. Ladies and gentlemen, can you hear that? That is the only thing that is welcoming us right now at this cultural center and the Haines Visitor Information Center. We made a very time-consuming and expensive, after our gas aren't cheap here, mistake by driving an hour-and-a-half to Haines Junction. I fall victim to Google Maps hour, and guess what happened? This is closed seasonally. So please, guys, ask around before you make the costly mistake we did.
Forget everything Charles just said. We actually ran into a staff member and they've invited us into the center with VIP access.
Daku means our house in Southern Tutchone, an endangered language spoken by the people of Champagne and Ajax First Nation who first occupied this land for over 2,000 years. It's also one of the first 4 First Nations to sign the Land Claim Agreement in 1992, and today it has its own First Nation government with a main administration located in Haines Junction. So in the center, one of the major attractions is this map right here, which covers the territory of the Champagne and Ajax First Nation. The Cultural Center celebrates and showcases the people, language, culture, and tradition of Champagne and Ajax First Nation. It regularly holds exhibitions of precious and rare traditional artifacts and artworks. They also offer campfire talks, songs, and dance classes, and other cultural events. On the permanent exhibit are the information showcasing the history, traditions, and language of this First Nation, as well as the milestone in achieving the right to the self-governance. The best way to support the Cultural Center is to give a generous donation or to shop. I got a feeling Sarah is pretty talented in doing just that, and she will be asking me for my credit card shortly. Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Awesome. Your visit to the Daku Cultural Center is not complete until you've had the opportunity to walk around the gift shop. There is lots of handmade, beautiful items, one-of-a-kind items, things that you can purchase and help support the local people. For instance, this handmade mukluk.
Along the way to one of the main attractions in the Kluane National Park, the Kathleen Lake, be sure to check out some of the lookout points.
This plaque talks about how Kluane is one of 4 parks in the region that is protected by UNESCO. It sits here at one of the viewpoints for Kathleen Lake. Take a look.
The Kluane National Park and Reserve was established in 1972 and covered the area of 22,000 square kilometers, while pending the land claim of the First Nations. Once the agreement was reached with the Champagne and Ajax First Nation, the eastern portion of the reserve became a national park in 1993, covering 5,900 square kilometers, administered by the Parks Canada, while the larger western section remains a reserve, awaiting the final land claims with the Kluane First Nation. The main entrance is located 25 kilometers south of Haines Junction. As mentioned, it does get dark early during winter, but if you come during the summer, you are in luck since there's 18 hours a daylight and all facilities are open, including Parks Canada campsite, picnic ground, a beach, a boat launch, canoeing, and 2 trails. First being the Coconut Trail, a half-kilometer wheelchair-accessible boardwalk, and a 5-kilometer challenging King's Throne Trail, ascend to the Alpine Curve. The native name Mät'àtäna Mțn translates into something frozen inside the lake. While it is unclear how the name Kathleen was given to this lake, according to the Daku Cultural Center, it was a name given to a Scottish girl left behind by William Hume after he immigrated to Canada without his parent at age of 16. Eventually, he joined the paramilitary Northwestern Mounted Police stationed at Delton Trail. Historically, the Kathleen Lake freezes up between mid to late December until late May or early June. Due to the climate change, the pier for the ice-covered surface are now becoming increasingly shorter in recent years. In the summer, you'll find the lake to be filled with exceptionally clear waters in the presence of landlocked, non-migratory population of sockeye salmon that solely lives in the fresh waters, along with a rainbow trout, burbot, whitefish, and many other fish species. It is really getting dark. Even though we won't stay for too much longer, we won't leave without some spectacular footage of ourselves to show off on our social media. Remember what I said about leaving early and driving back before sunset? The rental car provide you one of these guys because man, this is such a lifesaver. Especially, this is a rear view camera. Just make sure that is not blocked. With that being said, it's time to head back. Now, here's a very important advice. First, make sure your tank is half full at least, because in case of emergency or anything like that, your next 100 kilometers will be very painful if you ran out of gas. And number 2 is always make sure you take a rest, if necessary drink some coffee to stay awake, and as well make sure I drive at night with my glasses. You don't want to take that risk. And please, most importantly, go slow. Once again, it's better to be late than never. So, have a safe drive. Oh, sorry. Sarah and I need to go and grab a cup of joe. We have to lead by example, right?
Perfect. A nice large cup of coffee to keep us awake on the long drive back to Whitehorse.
And here's a little secret. If you come to a Top Spot gas station here in Haines Junction at the end of the night, guess what? All the hot 30% off. Because I guess I'm special, right? Bro? Yeah. Now, I believe in supporting the local economy wherever we go. Here's the problem. The people are just so nice and they won't even accept our money for both the coffee and the hot food. I think it's because I'm the cutest Asian in all of Yukon. So I decided to do a promo on the spot for this little gas station. I also did it at no cost, and don't tell me that is not called fair trade. With that being said, let's drive, and remember to drive safely.